My name is Jonathan Allen and I'm a recording engineer at Abbey Road Studios. I've been here for 18 years. When I'm working on a film, my job is to record and mix the music. So you're working with the composer and ensuring that everything they want to achieve from the music, that's achieved, but also you want to make sure that the sound itself integrates very well into the film. George Lucas famously said that sound is 50% of the theatrical experience, and he's absolutely right. It's easy to judge visuals when they're out of focus, if they're not bright enough, if it's not colourful enough. With sound, it's a lot harder for people to judge whether something's excellent or not quite as excellent. But people really do know whether sound's not working, whether it's not fulfilling its duty. So I'd say sound is slightly more amorphous and intangible to make a qualitative judgment on, which makes the execution of it even more important.
Another day, another destiny.
I first became involved with Les Misérables about a year before we finished. Tom Hooper had this brilliant idea, which was to record the vocals live. The idea being that all the tempos and all the musical ideas are set through the way the actors act and perform, rather than being clinically set months before the actual shoot. It's quite often in my job that we would become involved in the music at the end of the production, once the composer's crafted the score, and then we get involved to record it. On this occasion, obviously, we needed to make sure that the vocals were of a quality that we could match orchestra music to. So we joined very early on to listen to the microphones, to work with Simon Hayes, who was the sound mixer. Miserables was just an unusual beast because it's so long, so massive, so incredibly demanding for everybody, particularly for actors to sing 12, 14, 16 takes of the same scene on the same day. They did a lot of preparation in order to build their muscles and their chops for a really grueling shoot. Finally, when we came to use the orchestra, because we were listening to vocals that were very dry and very intimate, we had to make sure that the power of the orchestra, and the orchestra is a very dangerous, dynamic beast, we had to make sure that there was no stage that was going to detract from the quite special performances that Tom had captured on set. Tom, in fact, insisted on putting carpet on the floor at Air Studios. Air's a terrific facility, a very rich, quite lush acoustic. A reverberant acoustic has its own energy, and if in a loud forte, the orchestra again is in danger of overpowering whatever you're trying to accompany on screen. Tom questioned everything we did in terms of the conventions of movie scoring, because a lot of what we do on a daily basis is we're working with big orchestras, a lush Hollywood score. There's a particular sound we're all familiar with that type of orchestra. And what was great for us was the ability for Tom to question, does it have to be saccharine? Does it have to be particularly sweet line of vibrato? Is another way of playing it? So the musicians themselves were questioned about their performance and seeing what other colours they can do. And on string instruments in particular, you can get a huge range of colours, from these sort of Ponticello effects near the bridge through to pizzicato and all manner of things in between. And through that questioning process, we finally found a way through to create a sound world that matched the laws and physics of this film which Tom had created, which had its own rules. I think what was terrifically interesting on Misérables was the way Tom just used so much of the industry trying to make this one movie, particularly when it came to recording the chorus. If you wanted to do extra chorus, you'd be using an ADR room down at Goldcrest, which is designed for one singer, and there Tom's throwing 25, 30 people in there, but they're all crowded together to make this particular effect. I'm in Studio 3 now, and in Studio 3 we had the Gypsy Band for Master of the House, squeezing into this acoustic. We also did test recordings up at Pinewood. He'd just try anything out to make sure that he wasn't missing a trick. It's very important for an industry that an industry is connected. I mean, both Abbey Road and Air Studios are world-class places. And to have that coupled with a scene of musicians, which is incredibly, they're not only just vibrant, they're full of character, and they are up there with the best on the planet. We're really lucky to have that combination of factors in London. That's what makes an industry. It's very rare that the music mix gets included in the Sound Award. Sound Awards are very traditionally film, and all the elements of film, particularly the final re-recording mixers who bring together all the elements. That's usually where the awards are for. I felt incredibly thankful to Tom. It was very kind of him to basically bump my credit to earlier on in the film, which meant I was entitled to join the sound crew on the BAFTA Awards. So that was a real treat, and actually a terrific one for music, because I think so many people who work mixing music to film, it's becoming an incredibly sophisticated industry and actually incredibly detailed, and the guys work so hard and such difficult circumstances sometimes on music, because music is very much at the end of the chain when you're trying to when all the elements are coming together and everyone's running over and everyone's missing the deadlines, and music is the one thing that has to fill that gap before the release date. And I think the methods and the writing of many great composers nowadays is incredibly sophisticated, and they demand a lot from you when you're mixing the music.